Ever feel like your business has this gold mine of data, but you just can't find the key to it? Well, you're not alone. It's a huge problem, and Salesforce calls it trapped data. All that critical information locked away in different systems that just don't talk to each other. So today, we're going to try and unlock that treasure chest and see how Salesforce's data cloud plans to be the solution.
So here's what we're covering. First, we'll dig into the real scale of this trapped data problem. Then, we'll see how Salesforce is tackling it, and we'll look at the core tech that makes it all work. We're even going to try to untangle its kind of confusing pricing model. And finally, we'll connect all the dots to why this is so important for the AI revolution that's happening right now.
All right, let's set the stage. The average business these days uses hundreds of different apps, and every single one of those apps is creating valuable customer data. But here's the catch. They don't speak the same language. So what you end up with is this fragmented, totally incomplete picture of your customer. And that's not just some minor inconvenience. It has a very, very real cost. And I mean a staggering cost. We're talking about $3 trillion. That is the estimated price tag every single year for bad decisions that get made because of incomplete or just plain wrong data. When your information is stuck in all these different silos, you're pretty much flying blind. But here's the most frustrating part. The data is right there. A wild 70% of all the data that businesses collect just sits there. It's completely unused. Just think about that for a second. That is a massive, untapped resource for understanding your customers, for spotting trends, and for making way smarter choices. Yeah, this quote really gets to the heart of it. When data is trapped in all these separate systems, your CRM over here, your marketing tools there, your e-commerce site somewhere else, it is just impossible to see the full picture. You're missing the real story, the true insights into what's actually driving your business. So what's the fix? Well, this is exactly where Salesforce Data Cloud enters the scene. It was designed from the ground up to tackle this one challenge head-on by breaking down those data silos and bringing everything together. The best way to think about it is like a central hub for every piece of your customer information. It doesn't matter if that data is coming from your website, a mobile app, or a service call. The whole goal of Data Cloud is to pull it all into one place to create a single, unified view of your customer. So the key here is that this isn't just about storing data. It's about creating a living, breathing, real-time profile of every single one of your customers. A complete 360-degree view that updates instantly as new information flows in. So how does it actually do it? Well, it follows this 5-step process. First step, ingestion. It just pulls in data from all those different sources. Next is harmonization. And this is so important. It maps all that different looking data to one common model, so everything starts speaking the same language. Then comes identity resolution, which is where it cleverly merges duplicate records to create one golden record for each person. Once you have those unified profiles, you can do segmentation, which is just building specific audiences. And finally, activation. You take all that rich data and use it to power really personalized interactions, no matter where you're talking to your customer. Okay, so now let's peek under the hood at the core technology that makes this all possible. Because creating that unified, real-time view takes some seriously impressive engineering. And there are 2 features in particular that are absolute game changers. The first one is called zero-copy architecture. And believe me, it completely changes the data integration game. Just look at this comparison. So traditionally, to integrate data, you had to make copies of it. You'd pull data from one system, copy it, and load it into another. That creates duplicates, it creates lag, and it drives up storage costs. Zero copy is totally different. It lets Data Cloud access data directly from its source without ever moving or copying it. It's like having a live, secure portal to your data, no matter where it lives. And the benefits here are just massive. For one, you slash your storage costs because you're not paying to duplicate everything. Data access is way faster, which is critical for real-time stuff. And get this, because it requires less computation, it's actually better for the environment. So it's a win for your budget, a win for your speed, and a win for your carbon footprint. All right, the second game changer is how Data Cloud hooks into Salesforce's automation tool, Flow. This is really where all those insights turn into action. So a Data Cloud triggered flow is basically an automation that kicks off based on real-time data signals. So imagine a customer's browsing behavior suddenly suggests they might be about to leave. A flow can instantly trigger and automatically create a task for a service agent to reach out. It bridges that gap between knowing something and actually doing something about it instantly. Okay, so this all sounds incredibly powerful, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. What does it actually cost? Well, this is where things can get a little complicated. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. As Lucy Mazelon from the popular blog Salesforce Ben points out, the pricing model can be genuinely confusing. It's not a simple per-user subscription like most people are used to at Salesforce, and that's a big shift. So the big change here is that Data Cloud is a consumption-based product. You pay for what you use, and that usage is measured in something called credits. You can almost think of credits as the currency for your data operations. The more data you bring in, transform, and activate, the more credits you use up. Here's a really quick breakdown of the main ways you can get it. There's actually a $0 or freemium version to let you get started with up to 10,000 unified customer profiles. Then there's the Data Cloud Starter Pack, which is the entry-level paid option. And finally, the new Einstein 1 Editions bundle Data Cloud credits right in with your Sales and Service Cloud licenses, creating a pool of credits for your whole company to use. So let's bring this all together. Why is having unified, real-time data more important today than it has ever been before? Well, it boils down to two letters: AI. So here are the big takeaways. Unlocking your data with a platform like Data Cloud is the foundation. It creates that single source of truth about your customer. That truth then lets you automate smarter actions. But most critically, right now, that unified data becomes the essential fuel for your entire AI strategy. Because at the end of the day, you simply cannot have good AI without good data. It's just not possible. And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. In this age of AI, having accessible data isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's a strategic imperative. So you have to take a look at your own organization and ask, is your data trapped or is it unlocked and ready to drive your future?